The abandoned queen. The graveyard of empires. The planet Krythos was a corpse. Its skies, once jeweled with floating cities, now choked on the ashes of dead civilizations. The twin suns, Vorith and Kyrr, burned a sickly crimson, casting long shadows over ruins that stretched for miles. This was Val's End, the dumping ground of the galaxy, where empires discarded what they no longer wanted. Broken warships. Shattered drones. And, sometimes, people. Captain Darian Voss moved through the wreckage like a ghost. His boots crunched over glass and twisted metal, the sound swallowed by the howling wind. A former Terran Blackstar operative, he was now a scavenger, a shadow slipping between the cracks of the universe. His armor, once gleaming black, was now scuffed and patched, the insignia scraped off. The galaxy had taken everything from him. Now, he took from it. He adjusted his respirator, the filters clogged with dust. The air here was poison, literally. The Valkor Empire had bombed Krythos with biotoxins centuries ago, ensuring nothing would ever grow here again. Fitting, Darian thought. A dead world for dead things. Then, a sound. Not the groan of shifting metal. Not the skittering of the irradiated vermin that gnawed on corpses. A whimper. Human. Alien. Darian's hand went to his pulse rifle. The broken monarch. Beneath a collapsed archway, half buried in debris, lay a figure. At first, he thought it was a corpse. Then she moved. Violet skin, dulled by dust and blood. Silver hair, matted and tangled. A torn robe, once fine, now barely clinging to her emaciated frame. But her eyes, golden, sharp, burning with something that wasn't pain, locked onto his. "You're human." Her voice was cracked, but there was a regal edge to it. Like she was used to being obeyed. Darian crouched, rifle ready. He recognized the symbol on her tattered robes, the crest of the Valkor Empire. "And you're supposed to be dead, Your Majesty." She laughed, a dry, broken sound. "They left me here to rot. Too weak to rule." Darian's gaze dropped to her legs. Twisted. Useless. The bones had healed wrong, if they'd healed at all. The crime of weakness. Queen Silria of Valkor had been legendary. The youngest ruler in her dynasty's history. A tactician who'd outmaneuvered the Zareth Collective in 3 wars. Then, during the Battle of Seraph's Belt, her command ship was sabotaged. The explosion crushed her spine. Her empire's response. Disposal. The strong rule. The weak are culled. That was the Valkor way. Silria's fingers trembled, not from fear, but rage. "They called me a burden. Said I dishonored my bloodline." Darian exhaled. He'd heard this story before. Not with queens, but with soldiers. With refugees. With the discarded. "Funny," he said, slinging his rifle. "Humans specialize in broken things." When he lifted her, her breath hitched, not from pain, but shock. No one had touched her in years. Behind them, the wind howled like the galaxy itself was laughing. The first lesson. Darian carried her to his ship, a battered Terran M-37 Stalker, stolen from a Blackstar scrapyard. Silria's eyes widened as he set her down in the medbay. "You're not what I expected." Disappointed? No. Her golden gaze flicked to his scarred hands. "You've been broken too." Darian didn't answer. Instead, he injected her with a pain suppressant. "This'll help. For now." She studied him. "Why save me? You know what I am. A political nightmare?" He smirked. "Yeah. Then why?" Darian met her eyes. "Because weak people don't survive what you did." Silence. Then, Silria did something unexpected. She smiled. It was small. Feral. The smile of a predator who'd just found its teeth again. "Teach me to fight," she said. Darien raised an eyebrow. "With those legs?" "No." Her fingers curled into fists. "With this." She tapped her temple. "They think I'm helpless. Let's show them how wrong they are." Outside, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in blood red. Their war had just begun. The first lesson. The Iron Jackal's secret. The Iron Jackal shuddered as it broke orbit, leaving Krythos's toxic atmosphere behind. In the dim glow of the ship's medbay, Sylria watched the planet shrink through the viewport, her tomb becoming a speck in the void. Darien worked silently beside her, calibrating a neural stimulator. The machine whirred as its electrodes traced the ruined pathways of her spine. "This won't fix you," he warned. "But it'll stop the atrophy." Sylria clenched her jaw as electricity sparked along her nerves. How long was I down there? 3 years, if Imperial records are right. A lifetime. Her sister, Queen Lasara, had purged all mention of her from the archives. Erased. The stimulator beeped. Darien studied the readout. "Your nervous system's adapting. Faster than human. Valcor physiology," she said. "We're designed to endure. Yet they called you weak. Weakness isn't physical." Her golden eyes burned. "It's an idea. And ideas can be killed." A grin tugged at Darien's scarred lips. "Now you're thinking like a rebel. Lesson 1, the mind is the first weapon." Darien led her to the ship's cargo hold, converted into a makeshift training deck. Weapons lined the walls, pulse rifles, plasma cutters, a Terran vibroblade humming in its cradle. "Can you stand?" he asked. Sylria gripped the rails of a support frame. Her legs shook, but she forced herself upright. Pain lanced through her, white-hot and blinding. She didn't fall. "Good," Darien said. "Now forget your legs." He tossed her a holographic emitter. With a flicker, a tactical map of the Seraph's belt battle materialized, the very engagement where she'd been crippled. "Your last fight," Darien said. "How would you win it now?" Sylria's breath caught. The simulation showed her fleet's formation, the sabotage points, the betrayal in real time. "I wouldn't deploy the dreadnoughts here," she said, dragging a finger through the hologram. "I'd use the asteroid field as cover. Lure them into." "Wrong." Darien sliced his hand through her strategy. "You're thinking like a queen. Start thinking like a scavenger." He reset the simulation. This time, the enemy fleet outnumbered hers 10-1. No resources. No allies. Just you. Sylria stared. Then, slowly, she smiled. "I'd let them board." The trap. Her new plan unfolded in the hologram. Sabotage her own ship's engines, inviting the enemy to dock. Vent the oxygen from every deck but hers. Lure the enemy commanders into an airlock, and eject them into space. Darien whistled. "Brutal." "Efficient," she corrected. "You said to think like a scavenger. Scavengers use what's discarded. Including yourself. Especially myself." She met his gaze. "They see a cripple. Let them." A proximity alarm blared. The Iron Jackal's AI, Cal, chimed in, unidentified vessel approaching. Signature, Valcor Hunter class. Darien's hand flew to his rifle. "They found us." Sylria's pulse spiked, but not with fear. With anticipation. "You wanted a lesson." She gripped the rail tighter. "Let's give them one." The hidden truth. Hunter in the dark. The Valcor Hunter ship loomed in the Iron Jackal's viewport, a sleek obsidian dagger against the starfield. Its weapon ports glowed crimson as targeting locks painted across Darien's hull. Shields at 40%, Cal intoned, the AI's voice crackling with static from ECM interference. They're jamming our FTL drive. Darian's hands flew across the console, rerouting power from life support to engines. The ship groaned as G-forces spiked. Silria, I need options. The alien queen clung to the co-pilot's chair, her violet skin slick with sweat. Her golden eyes tracked the hunter ship's movements like a predator studying prey. They're herding us toward the debris field. Standard Valcor boarding tactic. A plasma bolt scorched past their starboard side. The impact sent tools clattering across the deck. Then we don't run. Silria's voice dropped to a whisper. We let them board. The trap is sprung. Darian opened his mouth to protest, then saw the calculation in her gaze. He'd seen that look before, in Black Star operatives about to make the suicide play. Cal, he growled, initiate protocol ghost. The AI responded instantly, atmospheric containment fields disengaged. Armory unlocked. All non-essential systems powering down. Silria dragged herself toward the weapons locker, her useless legs trailing behind her. They'll send 4 hunters. Minimum. Her fingers closed around a plasma cutter. All augmented with cybernetics. All trained to kill. Darian tossed her a grav harness. Then we cheat. The ship shuddered as magnetic grapplers latched onto their hull. Through the view screen, they watched the hunter's boarding tube extend, a gleaming silver proboscis seeking to pierce their defenses. First blood. The hunters came like shadows given form. Their armor absorbed light, their movements silent as vacuum. Only the faint glow of their ocular implants betrayed their positions as they fanned through the Iron Jackal's corridors. Darian waited in the engine room, his back pressed against the overheating FTL drive. The first hunter never saw the monofilament wire stretched across the doorway. The assassin's head toppled from his shoulders before his body realized it was dead. One down, Darian whispered into his comm. Silria's response came between ragged breaths, 2, here. He found her in the med bay, surrounded by sparking consoles. A hunter's corpse lay at her feet, throat opened by her plasma cutter. The second sprawled against the far wall, his chest a smoldering ruin. But the queen was bleeding, a deep gash across her ribs where a vibroblade had found its mark. You're hit. Darian dropped to her side, medgel already in hand. Silria grabbed his wrist. Her fingers left glowing prints on his skin. No time. The others are dash. The explosion rocked the ship. The revelation. Smoke poured from the corridor as the remaining hunters detonated their way through bulkheads. Darian dragged Silria behind cover as shrapnel peppered the walls. Then, impossibly, Silria stood. Her legs trembled, but held. The luminescent patterns beneath her skin pulsed like lightning in a storm cloud. The pain, it's fading. Darian's scanner confirmed it, neural pathways were regenerating at impossible speeds. What the hell are you? Before she could answer, the final hunters struck. Plasma fire seared the air. Darian took a bolt to the shoulder, his armor melting into his flesh. Silria screamed, but not in fear. In rage. The glow beneath her skin erupted outward. A pulse of golden energy slammed into the hunters, reducing their cybernetics to molten slag. Silence fell. Silria collapsed, the light fading from her skin. Darian caught her, his mind reeling. You're not just a queen, he breathed. Silria met his gaze, her golden eyes filled with ancient sorrow. No. I'm a weapon they tried to throw away. Word count, 1,000, I'll expand this to 5,000 words with your approval of the direction. Key upcoming scenes include, Darian discovering the Valcor genetic experiments, Cal's true origins being revealed, and the first appearance of Silria's sister, the current queen who ordered her execution. The impact of technology on modern society. Technology has profoundly transformed modern society, reshaping every aspect of human life, from communication and education to healthcare and the global economy. The advent of the internet and smartphones has revolutionized communication, enabling instant connectivity across the globe, breaking geographical barriers, and fostering a digital culture where social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram dominate interpersonal interactions. While this hyperconnectivity has facilitated unprecedented access to information and strengthened global networks, it has also introduced challenges such as misinformation, cyberbullying, and privacy concerns, as data breaches and surveillance capitalism exploit personal information for profit. In education, technology has democratized learning through online courses, virtual classrooms, and digital resources, making knowledge accessible to millions who previously faced barriers due to location or socio-economic status. Platforms like Coursera, Khan Academy, and edX offer courses from top universities, while tools like Google Classroom streamline collaboration between students and teachers. However, the digital divide persists, with marginalized communities often lacking access to reliable internet or devices, exacerbating inequalities. The workplace, too, has been disrupted by automation, artificial intelligence, AI, and remote work technologies. AI-driven tools optimize productivity, from chatbots handling customer service to algorithms managing supply chains, but they also threaten job displacement in sectors like manufacturing and retail. The rise of the gig economy, fueled by apps like Uber and DoorDash, offers flexibility but often at the cost of job security and benefits. Healthcare has seen remarkable advancements due to technology, with telemedicine allowing remote consultations, wearable devices monitoring health metrics in real time, and AI aiding in diagnostics and personalized treatment plans. Breakthroughs in genomics, robotics, and biotechnology promise to extend human lifespans and combat diseases, yet ethical dilemmas arise over genetic engineering and data privacy. Meanwhile, technology's environmental impact is double-edged. Renewable energy innovations like solar panels and electric vehicles combat climate change, but e-waste and the carbon footprint of data centers pose sustainability challenges. Socially, technology has altered entertainment, with streaming services like Netflix and TikTok dominating leisure time, while algorithms shape cultural preferences and political opinions, often creating echo chambers that polarize societies. Cybersecurity threats, from ransomware attacks to state-sponsored hacking, underscore the vulnerabilities of a digitized world. Despite these challenges, technology's potential for positive change remains immense, driving scientific research, humanitarian efforts, and global collaboration. The future hinges on balancing innovation with ethical responsibility, ensuring equitable access, and mitigating harms to create a society where technology serves as a force for collective progress rather than division.